Is anyone of you getting this? Okay, so what we are doing is we are just showing you here. Maybe by tomorrow you'll get it, or you can download it at your hotel or at your wherever you stay through mobile app or whatever. We are doing this just. I have downloaded. I think Shankar has also shared that file with you, the exe file, and you just need to log in separately. Today we are just introducing this to you. Tomorrow we'll start working on that. So today, how to download and install? It's very easy. Go to Atlas.ti Windows download. Go for Windows download. There is an Atlas.ti for web also. There is a web option also, but that's probably not that advanced. That's why we are doing this. Yes, Jagriti, any problem?
So before going to Atlas.ti, can you explain what better Atlas.ti offers than NVivo?
True.
NVivo.
I mean, I'm not going to share all those things, but here, see, I should not try and say this is good, this is bad, or whatever. But this is closer to the grounded theory approach about memos and this and that. That's why I prefer that. This is an older one. This was designed by an academician. QSR and NVivo is not just for academic projects, it's for other kind of qualitative analysis also, business or commercial projects. That's why I did not. In fact, I did one paper on QSR and NVivo when they could extract tweets directly. That's why I'm not doing QSR and NVivo. This is a lot more easier, I think, and it's a lot more academic because, as I said, a lot of these processes, and since the academicians know how to design these kind of things, that's why I'm using this. This was initially a German university project, and now they've become commercial or whatever. There are a lot of other. There is DDo's, there is MaxQDA that you were suggesting. There are any number of qualitative analysis softwares. This is just to show you how these things are done. I'm not promoting any software. In fact, if you see my YouTube, you'll see that I have declined any offer of endorsing that or whatever. They offered me, this, that, or whatever. I said no, this is only for academics. So if I find anything better, I'll switch to that. As of now, this is the point. I do not represent Atlas.ti. I have no commercial connections with them, and I will have no commercial connections with them. Right? If you see my website or YouTube, I have no endorsement links or download you get 10%, 15% because there is no as I said, commercial element with that. That's very important. So I'm not. I'm using this, and in some of the universities, I was in Central University of Calcutta. I did a project with students for 3 days and all. Everybody finds that easy. Hopefully, you will find easy. Datta Niranjan, if you find something better, please write to us, tell us, we will work on that. I saw DDo's, I didn't find that useful. I worked on QSR and NVivo. It's probably a lot of unnecessary interfaces, something that we're never going to use. So I thought it's expensive.
Just trying to understand.
No, I'm not telling one. That's very good. That's very good. So that's why I'm not using that. I'm more comfortable with that. Any other question before we start this? You see my videos on YouTube, which I made in 23. It has a 23 version. Now they released 24, which is a little bit more of AI, but rest of it is okay. Are you there on the screen? So we start off with a new project, and once we have a project, we just name it something. So let's name it CMDR1, right? If you see, there are comments there. Often I don't know what the project is about. I write a file name, I had something in mind. Please see the screen, you will work on that later on. Are you there, everyone?
Yes.
Are you there? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Please, okay. So, I need to write down the comment at times. It's better because it's there in the project. The next time I see that, I know what the project is about. Because I might have CMR, we have 2, 3, 4, whatever, I don't know what it is. So I just write that, I create. You'll create all of you will create your own project. Whatever, so what are the problems you're facing? Internet problems? Internet. So I think you can start having mobile hotspot or something. Airtel mobile hotspot or something.
We have connected, but
Not starting? Shanmukh, where are you? Can you see what is the problem here?
Yes, sir. All are facing the same problem, sir. Maybe I just turned off that PC and I started it again and it automatically booted up. Maybe if they all do the same, maybe it will boot up.
So you have to restart.
Yes, sir.
So you can restart and probably.
Or turn off for another 5 minutes and turn it on, maybe it will work.
See, this is as I said, trial version. So they are doing everything to restrict it so that you're not, so they want you to buy a license or whatever.
Maybe please connect your hotspot, then you can boot up that software.
One of our friends here, shall I announce that, Ranjan? That you have the crack version? Already announced. So one of our friends here, Ranjan Chatterjee from Mysuru. Earlier he was from Bengal, now he's a Mysore guy. Mysore. What do you call a Mysore guy? Mysore or Mysore? Mysorean, okay. He's a Mysorean now. He has a Atlas-ti 9. Slightly old, but still it's new. A crack version of that with him. You can share with that. If you want, you can treat it into some filter coffee or whatever, and then he'll give you that crack version. So that if it doesn't work, you can all install crack versions with him later on, and you don't need to update or whatever. You can work with them. So you can do that as well. See, this is the Kiran Kumar sir. So we are just trying to see what is there. We'll work on all of this in details, as I said, tomorrow. So these are the inputs that we see here. Very simple information about the project and all. We work on these 3 or 4 things. The second, the home button, where whatever documents we are adding, it can have files, it can have folded, it can have linked to audio, it can have a transcript or text document, or even geo document. So Google Earth document or those kind of things are there. We are not going to talk about geo documents, but the file that I am sharing, we can work on that. If somebody wants to work on geo documents, you let me know. We'll have a separate discussion on that. Entities we'll talk about, new folders, new codes. It's all about coding, as you will see. We import a document, we code that document, we rearrange that document, and we work on that part of it. The project comment, I've already given a project comment, so it's not required. As you can see, I gave up when I was entering new project, this is already there. Okay, this is a practice thing or whatever, it is there. If I want to increase the font size, you can see that better.
This project comment helps the.
No, it's just to tell me if I have too many projects, I know what this project is all about. Because just to tell you, it's a good habit of
description of the project.
Description of the project. We have a description of the code, we have a description of the memo, we have a description of. So there are 2 different things. One is a memo, the other is a code. So this is it about the project comment. There will be. I will tell you about different ways of how to code it. So from the navigator, you can see what are the documents. We can import lots and lots of documents. I'll just show you 1 or 2 maybe today how to import and how to work on that. It will show you whatever documents, and we'll form document groups also. Document groups will be important. Now just don't get into details, but say for example I have responses from girls and boys. If I put boys and girls in separate groups, analysis becomes easier. I will be able to find out what all that is.
So it's an interview transcriptions from boys and
yes,
interview transcriptions.
so it will be easier for you. Quotations are those things which you are choosing to code. For example, in the last example that I showed you, all the different lines that we coded, they are known as the quotations. So quotations are linked to the codes. I'll show it all to you. I mean, right now you don't get worried about all that. Codes, of course, we can group codes together. Just in the earlier example, which I also showed you on your WhatsApp, we can group 4 or 5 codes into a higher theme or a higher category. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Don't get bogged by that. I'm just trying to familiarize you with the software. Tomorrow we will work deeply into all that. In fact, today also I might show you one or two. If we have time, I'll show you one very quick coding. Memos I will require, as I said, as I go along coding, or as I, whatever my thoughts are, I can just write memos. Memos are of different types: research memo, ideas memos, this, that, or whatever. And then I can link those memos to codes, or I can link those memos to documents or quotations. So documents, from documents you take quotations, quotations you code. Different ways of coding you know already. The software has some other ways of coding which we will see just now. From those codes we can create networks, networks between codes, network between quotations and codes. Network between quotations are the parts that you are coding. So that is it. Links, if you have some links and all that. This part is very important, search and code. This is not showing anything because I don't have any document here. The moment I have any document here, you will see that. In a moment I will show you. So I'll come to that. Text search, regular expression, computer science people use regex. I'm not going to get into regex, don't want to scare you others, but you have that.
Finite automata and all have regular expressions.
Yeah, regular expressions is you can work on that. We'll work on named entity recognition. We'll work on sentiment analysis. We'll work on concepts. We'll work on opinion mining. We'll work on word frequencies. Just now I'll show you word cloud and all that. That's something that we'll work on. Analyze. We have the query tool. We have the co-occurrence analysis. Where are the codes co-occurring? Or co-document analysis. That we're also doing that. Intercoder mode is where we have more than one coder, and then it's like a team thing, or even if I want to kind of divide my own coding into two just to see whether I have reliably doing that, I can do that. But it all depends on whether you want to do that or not. Twitter import does not even work too well. Twitter is not even Twitter now, it is X. They have stopped the API. Application process interface, what do you call that? Application performance interface. Program application programming interface. So they have stopped all that so that you don't get access to direct read. So we can Evernote reference panel, you can do the survey I'll show you right now. Social network comments you can have. Code books you can import and export both. The code book you prepare here, that can be exported and you can import it from some other place also. SPSS export, if you want to do some kind of correlations or those kind of things, and if you have those frequencies, you can work on that. You can work on exporting code groups as well. Tools are not too much. We can at times find redundant coding, or if you have more than one user, all this thing is there. Help is help. We all so home is where everything will be there. So let me just maybe I'll start off with whose PC is this? This is Sharma's? Whose? It's a good one. And you have Windows 11 also. So I'm just putting it on your desktop. If you want, you can remove it also. This is a small Excel file. So I have this fictional survey data. This is on Excel, as you can see. Case, name, gender, whether has children, number of children, marital status, and the survey is whether children bring happiness or they do bring fulfillment and purpose. The education. SQ1 is about reasons for having children. SQ2 reasons for not having children. So this is just a small survey data that you could do in Google form or whatever. It is there on an Excel sheet. Am I clear? Can you see this document?
Yes.
Please see everyone. Students, just a Google form survey. You send Google form surveys, don't you? Write your name, write this, write that, write this, and this is an open-ended question. Everyone, MSW students, please see that. This is important. I have this on Excel. I will import that into Atlas. There are 24 cases. All 24 will be taken as 24 different documents. Let's see that. So let's open Atlas.ti. Let's add document. No. We'll have to import here. Import survey. Where is it? It's on desktop. Alright. So I'll import it, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Right, now I have imported that. If I now go into documents, it is showing me all the documents. Can you see that on the left side of the screen? 24 different. Huh? Oh.
It's a phone size.
I'm not going to about this.
Let's zoom out.
स्क्रीन इधर जूम मत हाँ
Oh, so इसमें गड़बड़ है। ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, चलेगा। That screen, yeah. Okay. You wanted me to magnify the screen instead, right?
Yes, sir. Whenever you want to, you can.
Yeah. Okay.
अल इधर बरल
So what we've done is, if you see here carefully, all the different cases here are appearing in the document. Can you see this document here?
Yes.
This is here in the document, and all the different cases are here as different documents. Now, for some reason, they take codes. This is just one code that they have taken. There's nothing is coded here. Where is it? This is it. I mean, we have imported the documents. Now, if I go and search and code, everything is visible now. Can you see this here? Zoom it. Now in the search and code part, we can see that. Earlier we were not being able to see that. You remember that? When there was no document, I could not see that. Now I can see that. The simplest thing, the first thing that many people often do is go for word frequencies. And what they do, they take all the documents and they try and create a cloud. I'll show you.
Little zoom out.
I'll show you. Where is what's the command? Control Windows plus or minus? Is it control Windows or what? Function Windows? This is minimized. Can you see the word cloud? Just see the word cloud. Is it visible? It is telling me that the word children has appeared 65 times in this document. It will tell me that the word child has come. So many of these, I mean, I'm just showing you, most of this we'll have to exclude because children ke baare mein children to hoga hi. I'll tell you how to exclude tomorrow. But first of all, we import the document and I've just did one minuscule part of it, which is word cloud. Word cloud gives me an idea about, can you see the word cloud here?
Yes.
I'm sure you could have seen word clouds before. I mean, whatever the document, word cloud is just starting to tell me that this is what they are talking about most. I mean, some of these are redundant, reasons, children, I'll remove that. Have you worked with word clouds before? No? Okay, so tell me, I think that I'm assuming a lot of things. Okay, do you know what are stop words? Stop words? Ma'am knows what is stop words. Wonderful. Yes.
Removing of articles, preposition, interjection.
Huh?
Words are removing stop.
Right. In fact, in LLM, all the stop words are removed, then other words are removed, just the base part is there, and then they tokenize it, and then they do all that. But anyway, so word cloud, it provides you in a diagrammatic form, the ones which are appearing larger have been used more often. The ones which are very small have been used less often. Here, just by clicking onto those words, success has been used only twice. Just by looking onto the word cloud, I can understand that what this is. I mean, not even the starting of the analysis. I'm just telling you that before coding, just let's have an idea about what are the words that they have used beforehand. I can put that in the list form also. I can put it in many other forms also. But firstly, very often when we start, we see the word cloud. It can be newspaper, it can be an NEP document, it can be whatever. Before we make a word cloud, we exclude certain words. We exclude certain words before making that. In language modeling, those things are known as stop words. S-T-O-P, stop words. The, then, here, is, and things, things which appear very normal, which do not add to the, you're saying something, Shweta ma'am?
So conjunction, like
Conjunctions,
interjections,
articles, wonderful. So, all those words are removed. Apart from that, again, if I want to remove certain things, I can add it to the exclude list. On the top, there is an exclude list. Here, they are using exclude English. There is a, can you see this here? They are excluding the English stop words. If I want to exclude more from here so that I get a better picture, I can do that as well. Why would I do that? Because This is about children, so children के बात हो गई. This is unnecessarily, kind of making this appear bigger, so we can remove those words. I can hide it from the word cloud. Can you see this here? I can hide it from the word cloud, right? Reasons. What are reasons? क्या है? Hide it from the word cloud. Child. Hide it from the word cloud. Will. SQ2. Now I have something which can help me to get a better understanding of what people are saying, reasons for having or not having children. This is it. Time, love, work, life, so those kind of things. I can use those words in coding. When I'm coding all that, I get an idea. Something closer to that, because this gives me an idea about the entire document. As I said, we have not even started coding. We are just, skimming the surface. This whole thing can be done in list format. The whole thing can be in a tree format. I don't want to confuse you with a lot of visuals right now. Very easy just to import documents. This document was in an Excel sheet, as I showed you. It is so very easy. So if you have anything which is in open-ended format, just like we did in the morning. You remember the first exercise?
Yes.
I can create a word cloud of that right now. I don't want to make it too much about ourselves, so we're not going to do that. But this is the thing. We have many documents. I've brought in a lot of sample documents. All of us will work together, and by tomorrow we'll be clear about coding and memorizing and all that. Is that clear?
Yes.
Koi shak? How's the Josh?
Hi, sir.
How's the Josh?
Hi, sir.
अरे ये क्या है? हमें लोग का जोश. Anyway, wonderful. I mean, all of you have been such a wonderful audience. A special applause for the MA students. So can we give a big round of applause to yourself? Because if you start young, it's better for you. Special again round of applause to all the senior teachers, faculty from science group like computer science and others. Thank you for being such a wonderful audience. Please have as many questions as you have, because that will make it better, that will make it more interactive. Today we have tried to put in that kind of a background so that by the time the last day comes, you are much more easier with that. Bring in any document that you have, think of, analyze anything, we can analyze pictures. I don't want to get into that area. In a 3-day workshop, let's make it totally concentrated on the textual part. Otherwise it will become too technical and might not be useful for others. But otherwise you can use that for many better things. Right? Is it interesting? Isn't it very easy, the software? The interface is extremely easy. Everything is there. I mean, that's how, the more elegant a thing is, the better it is. The more powerful it is. I'll first of all, we'll go for all those AI coding kind of a thing. Probably even use ChatGPT to suggest codes and all that, and then work on that. And then we will start working on. So tomorrow, I have, we'll start on the NEP 2020 document. I'll put that document right on your WhatsApp group, and we'll start coding that. And from that, we'll start thinking about our own reports and all that. Any other thing, just let us know, we're there. So generally on the last day, since there is validity and all, we won't get the entire day. So we have less than 2 days to complete everything now. But we are on the right path, and we have covered most of it that I wanted to cover on the first day. And you could even do some wonderful coding, and that was very impressive. Thank you so much for I can carry on till 7:30, but I don't want to violate your human rights. Tell you that as journalists, that was more than 22 years ago, when we were listening to political speeches or whatever, most of the time we were shut off. We knew, abhi important bolne wala, and then you would switch on. So similarly, since this is a 3-day session, and we have to pack so many things inside, that's why probably at times, if you think that it gets too heavy, just let me know. I will repeat that. This is the software you're going to use for the first time. Yesterday we just introduced you to you. I've been working on that for quite some time. So for me, things might appear very simple. For you, it might be tricky at times. Just raise your hands. If required, I'll come down to your laptop. We have other friends who know, Shanmukh and Ranjan and many others who know. Because if we get up and maybe help somebody else, we learn even more. So that's how it has to be a group kind of a learning. All of us will work on the same document, and there are different ways of coding first. First we code and then we analyze. So first of all we must know what is coding, how do we form code groups, how do we form quotations. Diveshi madam, chalo, it's working? Okay. So how to get into all that? Yes. Datta Niranjan, welcome. He's a Dharwad guy, that's why. आज पीछे बैठना? Okay. So let's make it as useful as possible because we have the entire day here. And since we are working in continuation, I guess it helps. Because if we were starting anew, then a lot of things would have to be said again. So we are starting from where we left yesterday. Tomorrow also we'll start from where we leave today. So what I'll do is, shall I play that video? Shanmukh, the mastering qualitative data analysis at the very first, so that you just get a hang of it. I'll show you everything. I showed you 2 or 3 videos. One of the ones. Thank you so much. Shanmukh is extremely helpful because the system is slightly tricky in the sense that if I need to use audio, I'll have to go there. If I have to work on the software, I'll have to come here because this system is better. That system is slightly old and the RAM and all is lower, so I can't work. I mean, if I work with that, it will take more time. So that's why just give us some time to switch. Probably it gives you some time to relax as well. Because Kiran Kumar sir is here, is not here? Okay. See, very often you might think that in our field, we will probably be doing quantitative more, surveys more, etc., etc. But very often we might need to have these mixed methods. We'll have to, as Datta was talking about triangulation also, probably we'll talk about that tomorrow. That at times we need another way of kind of proving the same thing or making making the same point. So something which is not very clear in the quantitative method, we add an additional qualitative method, additional maybe a focus group or a detailed interview or some kind of these things, and we make the point better. So it can go, I mean it's not an either or situation. It's not that you either do this or do that. You can do both together. In fact, many researchers would do that together. In thesis, you should be doing this because they will ask you that you only did a survey, but there are so many things a survey will not catch. Survey gives you a broader picture. It's wider. The qualitative analysis goes deep. It gives you that deeper analysis. So you need, for a 360-degree perspective, you need both these things. So you should not think that you have to text apne kaam ka hai. This is very empowering. And if we know that, and it will make our research a lot richer. Because often you will find out that it does not catch the entire thing. I spoke of average. I spoke of how an overall figure might not tell you what is the truth or whatever. So that's why we want these deeper perspective. So I will also if you can download NEP 2020 the English version, and we will be using that. There are some of the direct coding methods, we will code that. So the first part, we will all work together. Then as I said, I have created a code book in an Excel sheet. I will share that with you. With those code books, you will code the entire 60-page document. And after that, we'll tell you how to link those codes and how to look at networks and how to do the querying and all that. The querying part probably will come tomorrow. Does that sound good? Is it okay? Are you fine with it? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful. introduce you. I'm Shankar Pandey, and this is Dr. USP. Full screen communication and research on this channel. There are a number of computer-assisted quantity data analysis software. Some of them are free, some of them are very expensive. Today, बहुत जल्दी नाराज हो जाते हैं। एक तो ऐसी कोई खबर है। ये हमने आपको वो दिया था, डाउनलोड नहीं हुआ ना? वेलकम किरण कुमार सर, वेलकम नवीना सर। नवीना? हाँ? गंगाधर। Okay. Were you there yesterday?
Yes, sir.
Oh. Yeah, Navina sir, you are Navina sir, right? Hi friends, I'm very happy to see you here. I'm Shankar Pandey, and this is the Dr. USP channel. I host videos on media, communication, and research on this channel. This is the third video on qualitative data analysis software Atlas.ti. Memorizing it. Computer-assisted qualitative data analysis software. Right? See,
Take a look, sir. Take a look.
Achha, please kariye. So there are any number of CAQDAs, and as I was telling Jalta and Lanjan, Atlas.ti, I'm using it only for an academic purpose. I mean, please, if you can get a crack version, I mean, I should not be telling that on a formal platform, but if you can get a cracked, piloted version, whatever, please use it. I'm not, in any way associated with the company, not at all. Even though they wrote me a couple of mails, after the videos became very popular, I thought that, as an academician, it will not be proper for me to be associated with them in any manner. So, let that be a caveat. I'm not promoting any software, but it's just a software to help discuss, these qualitative measures. And I was discussing this with Kiran Kumar sir yesterday also, that, we are having quantitative methods, and this is probably complements that in many of those cases, because we might need a deeper perspective into some research questions. And every time when I write those memos, I'll tell you that we have to keep the research questions in mind. Otherwise, the coding does not make any sense. So, by the end of today, I guess all of you will be adept at coding and memo writing, and using the code in different ways. So, I'll tell you 3 or 4 different ways of using the code. Welcome, sir. 3 or 4 different ways of using the code. Generally, I mean, this will be shown in the video in a moment's time. Generally, we import documents. If you remember, yesterday I showed you how to import interview schedules. You remember that? We imported interview schedules. After importing those documents, the Atlas.ti names them as D1, D2, D3, D4 or whatever. From the important part, from the document we will have quotations. Quotations will be coded, and codes will be formed into groups, and then we'll start looking at the relation between the codes and this and that and all those things. So these are the things that we are looking for. All of you installed Atlas.ti on your computers?
Yes.
Everybody? Is there anyone who could not work on that? You could not, ma'am?
So actually, Atlas web version is okay.
Which one?
Web version.
Web version is probably, I mean, you can work on that, but web is not very, does not have all the elements there. But anyway, you are a computer science teacher, you can, maybe share somebody else's laptop, or you can share mine if you want. But the web version is probably, there for not all the detailed coding that we do. But let us see, I mean, we can see the differences if you want. The web version is there, but this guy. No, not this one. Sorry.
it is actually very simple to make more than 3 lakhs per month from the comfort of your home by selling what you already know, terms and knowledge. For the
says with Atlas.ti, a step-by-step guide. Atlas.ti allows import of a number of document types. We can import PDF, text files, HTML, audio files, video files, even social media content and survey content.
So there are things like visual communication. So we can, take pictures and we can code those pictures and we can make those analysis from those kind of things.
Yes. So we need to download Atlas.ti from the Atlas.ti.
You already done that, so this is just a repetition of that. So.
Now this, you have the new project here.
So every time it's there, we start a new project, you can name it whatever, but those projects so that you can revert back to those projects again and again. This was recorded last year, that's why it is Atlas.ti 23. Not many differences with 24 because all the AI versions that they are showing you, they will not allow you in the free version. But if you need to work on any of those AI and if you are interested, let me know. I can do the entire thing on a chat GPT straight away. But maybe probably tomorrow. Today we will just work on whatever is there in the software. Right?
So once you have this,
we will do this sentiment analysis also today on that and find out that the NEP document is largely positive sentiment, less negative and less neutral. We'll show you. You'll do that yourself.
On tutorials there, if you start with the first time, you can try these as well. So this is the Atlas.ti 23. You need to click on the new project here. The moment you click on a new project, it will ask you to suggest a project name.
So you can do that yourself. Start a project, name a project, and then the document you will import is the NEP document. If you don't have it, I have it on my pen drive here, I'll share it with you. Otherwise, you can import that straight away. And just see the rest of it, we'll work out on all of it. Just see here. I'm just playing out the video. If some of it doesn't make sense, just make a record of it. So when I'm explaining that, I'll come back and will explain that to you, right? So just playing that. Of course, you have access to that on YouTube and all, but here I can give you direct response to any question that you might have. That's why I'm playing it out here. Shankar, will go.
This name is something, Family newspaper, created from here. Now this has been created. And there are 3 different areas, as you can see here, that are very important to know for beginners. So this is the project explorer area that tells us whether there are any documents, whether there are codes, whether there are memos, networks, document groups, code groups, memo groups, network groups, etc. And as you can see, there's a ribbon on the top here. And there are 6 main areas there. So we have the home button here. The home button has add documents here. We'll see that in a moment's time. We can add new entities there. We can edit comment there. There's a navigator button as well. And we'll be dealing with these things in our work. So we'll be dealing with documents. Out of those documents, we'll be creating quotations. And out of those quotations, we'll be creating codes. We might need to add memos. And we'll create networks. And that's for a later video. Then on the ribbon you have another tab which is search and code. Then we have the analyze tab. Again, this co-occurrence and code document analysis is for a later video. The import and export tab, it allows us to import from Twitter. We can even use it to import our reference data from Zotero, for example. We can import survey data. It would be from an Excel file. There are social network comments. We can import code book, which could be an Excel spreadsheet or it could be on a QDC file. So if a code book exists, we can import it here. We can also export it later on, as you can see. Whatever codes we're creating here, we can export it. This is the main area. This is where everything will be shown. Right now, that this is the project that I've created at this particular time of this workshop. We go back to the home button. We can add documents. So we can add files, we can add folders, we can add linked video, audio, we can import transcript, or we can even have a text document. So let's start with files. And I have files here on the Google Drive. I have some files from the newspaper Hindustan Times. I'll just take a few of them. So let me import them. Now you can see 4 documents have been added to the project. Let's add some more documents, so let's add more files. Another newspaper, for example, I have files from Times of India Mumbai from 2014. So let's open it here. So 5 more documents have been added here. Let's add a few more. Add 5. I have some from the Telegraph as well, for the 2014 election coverage. So you can see here I have added 15 documents here. And if we see this triangle here, this will tell you what are those documents. There are these 4 documents from Hindustan Times, from Times of India, and another 6 from Telegraph. So these are the documents that have been added to my project. If I want to add audio or video, I can add that as well. So for example, I have some video here in my drive. So these are the documents I've added here. I can even add a picture file, and I can see the preview here. When I click, I can see the preview here. If I want to see any of those documents, I just need to click onto that. We have to organize these documents into groups, and for that we have to access the document manager. So I have these.
As I said yesterday, that maybe we might want to have a look at different groups. Yesterday I spoke of gender, for example. Here the document groups are 3 different newspapers. You can have newspapers and videos or whatever, because you might need, some kind of an analysis between these things. You can have a district-wise thing. You can have a whatever subdivision-wise thing or whatever. Just if you want to see if the responses or if the documents have some differences between them. That's why we need to code them into group. Coding is very easy. I just select it, right-click, new group. I can code the same document into as many groups as I want. It's not exclusive. It's not that it will only belong to one group. It can go to gender, it can go to rural, urban, it can go to high income, low income, or as many. It doesn't need to be binary. Does it make sense? Does it mean, students, MSW, MSAG, it makes sense? Zor se bolo, yes or no? Very good. So that's why we are going to make it
4 newspapers. I just need to put new group from selection. So these 4, I want to create a new group. So I'll call this HT. I'll create this. So this has been created to HT. If I click on HT.
You are seeing this all so very, one after the other. I took a long time in editing it and doing all that. So it doesn't mean that everything can be done in 10 or 15 minutes. It was recorded over a longer time, then I edited out, all those in between portions. That's why you are seeing it, one after the other quickly, because if the video is long, it becomes very boring. That's why, it's very fast. So don't think that these processes it might take a little bit more time. So on the video, you might see the entire thing as just like the highlights you see of cricket matches or whatever. You just see the ball. You don't see the person, starting from the run-up and taking time and, just doing all that. So just the very fact, I'm going just one after the other does not mean that it's also very fast. It's just that we have compressed into time. I'm sure you understand that. I'm just making the point again.
I'll just see these 4 years. Then let me just have these. Right click again. New group from selection. I'll call this TOI. So this is another group that I've created. These are from Telegraph. So I'll just click all these newspapers. I'll right click. I'll say new group from selection. Let's call TT. So this
is there on your group. You can watch it anytime. It's there on YouTube.
And also create a video file. I can call it video. I can have all the newspapers together and I can call it another group. I can create another group out of it. I can call it print. New group from selection, print. So depending on my research questions, I can create these groups. So as you can see, we have certain newspapers which are there in both the groups. So for example, this newspaper would be in TOI and it would be on the print group as well. So this is a very important usage of the software because it allows us to place a particular item into many different groups, and this will be very useful for analysis later on. Now we can start coding these documents. To code anything, we need to select a particular area. You can see if I select this particular area, this is known as the quotation.
You might need to select a paragraph or a sentence or whatever. That is known as a quotation.
I can name it weather. I can add another quote there.
We'll work on all this coding. I mean, today you're going to do all this.
Line suggests that this part of the PDF has been coded, and it shows me that these are the two codes over here. Now, if I go back to my Project Explorer, I can see that there are two codes here. Even here, it tells me that there are two codes here, and one quotation means I have selected one part of the PDF and I have created two codes out of it. I can simply go to the codes and to see what are those codes, it will tell me that these are the two codes and where it is. It shows me that this is what the quotation is. I'll open another document. This time I'll open this one. For example, let's talk about coding this headline. So I'll just select it. I can call it headline election. You can keep on adding codes here. Foreign. The use of coding depends on what my research questions are and what I see as important here. So we can continue adding codes based on our understanding and on a very close reading. These codes are based on theory, these codes are based on the understanding of the researcher, and you might need to read the same document again and again before deciding on the codes. I have this document, I select it, as usual I right click it, I can apply code, I can again name it official. I apply it, I add another code, I call it complaint, so I can apply the code here. If I see this triangle over here,
I'm just showing one part of coding here. There are 2 or 3 different parts. So we'll explain that in a moment.
By time. I'm already underwater.
I'm in the same boat.
I had an actual boat. I thought grandmother just.
beside these codes, it shows me the codes, and there are.
So how many times it has been coded? So just see complaint, Delhi, election, foreign headline, it says 10. 1 is for how many times the code has been used. 0 whether it is linked to some other place or not. We'll talk about that. So you'll get used to all that. It's a very simple interface. I keep repeating. That's why it's so very important. We will start in a different way. We'll start off with word cloud. We'll start off with NER. We'll start off with concepts. We'll start with object mining, so that what the software suggests as codes, we'll first take that. Then we will work on the codes, and you will all work on that, as I said, in just 10-15 minutes from now.
These 7 codes, the ones that I've coded so far. Another way in which I can code is by dragging one of those codes onto this document.
This is very, very important. I select the area that needs to be coded, and the code already exists. So every time I don't need to right click and do that. I can just click and drag over there. So when I give you a code book, or when you create your own code book, those codes will appear there. From there you can just click and drag them. So it makes your work a lot easier. Every time you don't need to type it. Because as I said yesterday, this is there to make our job of coding easier. You did all that coding manually yesterday. Do you remember that? And you did a wonderful job out of it. Do you remember, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The same document you did. we are doing the same exercise using a software, and of course software has all the related advantages. So that's what we are basically doing there. So one is writing it. The second is clicking and dragging it over there. Whatever is selected, the code will be applied there. And just to show you here, because we'll come back there. This is the quotation. That this is what we have selected in the quotation, and these are the codes that will appear here. Whatever, I mean, this blue line here means that this is one quotation. What is one quotation? The thing I have selected to create a code. And that's important because that is where I need, that's my source. I need to, when I'm writing the report, I mean, I can download that in a report and it will tell me. And right there are codes, so I can apply as many codes there. Just I can look and click there and find out and all that. So it's easier. Visually they are doing this. We can even color the codes, just so that we understand that if we have a kind of a schema in our mind, we can use that again and again.
Over here. So for example, this is the headline and I've coded that already, so I just click on this.
Just see that? It just adds on to there. This comes there immediately. The moment I add a code, on the right side, could you see that? Earlier there were only two, right now there are three. We'll do that. I mean, the Excel will not do that. Before that, I'm just showing you how.
Headline and I'll drag it over here. You can see that the headline has been added here. So if there is an existing code and I want it to add to one of my selections, I do that by clicking and dragging it. Similarly, if I have to code this one, I just select it first. I can see that this is our election and I want this election to be one of my codes, so I can just.
Now these two codes have been used twice, you can see that too. So just by looking at the interface, I mean, I don't know whether you can see that from the back or not. Here it's showing 20, here it's showing 20. That means that code has been used twice. Because as I told you, if the code is not used more than once, then that code is useless. I mean, if it is a standalone thing, it doesn't mean anything. That means I have not been able to, kind of analyze the documents or put it in a format in which it makes sense. That's why those codes which are used more than once are the ones that I'm looking for. Later on, I'll compress those codes into themes. In fact, I'll just show you a very quick content analysis presentation, just 2 or 3. It's a big presentation, just 4 or 5 slides out of that, so that you know the difference between codes and categories and themes and all that. I'll just show you that kind of a thing. That's very, very important, so that this exercise becomes even more real. This is not an abstract thing. This is something that we are working on in projects. That's why I was telling these two PhD scholars start applying that on your own project right away, so that you get the results, right? Why are you looking so tensed? If you become tensed, I become tensed. Don't be tensed. I mean, things are very, very easy. Many of us have done PhDs here, isn't it? It's an easy thing. PhD is the most easy degree you'll ever do in your life.
Click and drag it over here, and I can see that this code has been added to this part over here. If I want to add code here, I can just click again, apply code. For example, I can say it's a soft story.
So I apply code and then I click on to plus, otherwise it does not apply. After applying code, I have to add plus here. So when I'm telling you before, whenever you enter to whatever, it doesn't get added. Only after you add plus, it will get added to the quotation. As you can see, these are kind of open coding. You remember we did 7 different types of coding yesterday. You remember those names? Can you just tell me what are they? Descriptive, right? What else? Process,